This is the story of Sandra, a woman whose life took an unexpected turn, a journey through pain, loss, hope, and ultimately success. She fought against the odds, and her story will leave you inspired, empowered, and believing that anything is possible. Sandra grew up in a modest household, her parents hardworking, teaching her the value of perseverance. She excelled in school, always the top of her class, dreaming of becoming a successful businesswoman. She had big ambitions. No one doubted that Sandra would make it in life. Her family supported her every step of the way, and Sandra felt unstoppable. Sandra's childhood was filled with dreams of greatness. She believed in hard work, determination, and that with the right amount of focus, success was inevitable. But sometimes, life has a way of testing the strongest among us. Everything seemed perfect until tragedy struck. In her early 20s, Sandra's mother fell ill with a disease that was difficult to diagnose. Medical bills began to pile up, and her once stable life turned into one of uncertainty. Sandra, who was in college at the time, had to drop out to take care of her mother. She worked odd jobs during the day and spent nights by her mother's side in the hospital. The financial strain was unbearable, and they were on the brink of losing everything. Suddenly, Sandra's dreams were put on hold. She faced a storm she never saw coming, and life was asking more of her than she had ever imagined. But despite the dark clouds, Sandra's spirit remained unbroken. Her mother passed away after a long battle, leaving Sandra devastated. This loss marked the lowest point in her life. She struggled with grief, feeling as though her life had lost its purpose. With her mother gone and financial debts looming, Sandra had nowhere to turn. Depression took hold, and she considered giving up on her dreams entirely. For months, Sandra felt trapped in darkness, questioning everything. Her future seemed bleak, her dreams shattered. But deep inside her, there was still a spark, a faint light that refused to go out. They say the darkest hour is just before dawn, but for Sandra, it felt like an endless night. But even in her grief, there was a small voice inside her, a whisper, telling her not to give up. One day, while walking through the city, Sandra encountered an old mentor, someone who had always believed in her potential. The mentor reminded her of her strength and suggested she rebuild her life one step at a time. Inspired by their words, Sandra began to take small steps toward recovery. She applied for jobs, and though rejection after rejection came, she persisted. She started volunteering at a local charity, using her free time to help others, which also helped her heal. Slowly, Sandra began to rebuild herself. She found a job at a small marketing firm. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a start. Her resilience began to pay off as she worked her way up in the company. It was during this time that Sandra learned one of life's greatest lessons. Sometimes, success isn't about the destination. It's about the journey and how you rise after each fall. She realized her survival wasn't just about getting through, but about rising stronger each time. Over the next few years, Sandra's career blossomed. She worked tirelessly, and her efforts were recognized. She was promoted multiple times and eventually landed a job at a prestigious multinational company. The girl who once felt broken was now thriving. Along the way, Sandra made a decision. She would give back. She started a foundation in her mother's name to help young women like herself who had faced adversity. Her foundation provided scholarships and mentoring programs, offering opportunities to those who had none. Sandra's success wasn't just measured by her career advancements. Her true success was in the lives she touched. She turned her pain into purpose and her struggles into a path of hope for others. Sandra had become a beacon of light. Now, in her late 30s, Sandra stood as a symbol of what determination, resilience, and hope could achieve. She had come full circle from the brink of despair to a life of fulfillment and success. Her journey was not about wealth or fame, but about finding meaning in her pain and purpose in her survival. She often spoke at events, sharing her story with others who were going through difficult times. Her message was simple. You can survive, and not just survive, you can thrive. You can build a new life, even when it seems impossible. From the ashes of her pain, Sandra built a life not just for herself, but for those who needed hope the most. Her story became a testament to the power of the human spirit, a reminder that success isn't always about how high you climb, but how strong you stand when life knocks you down. Sandra's story resonates with anyone who has faced hardship. She's proof that no matter how far you fall, with faith, resilience, and a will to fight, you can rise again. Sandra's journey reminds us all that survival is more than just getting through. It's about rising from the flames, rebuilding what was lost, and finding success where others might have seen failure. This is the story of Sandra, and her unbreakable spirit will inspire generations to come.